I'm your father figure. Oh, that's why I'm your father figure. Oh, no, you. I'm your father figure. I just
Cooks here with my guy Brendan Netherton, and you got to be doggone right. B, what's up?
None, man. Just excited about, stuck in neutral and starting this off. And, I appreciate you thinking about me to put me on this. We're going to figure it out. All these little kinks and quirks and how this thing runs, we're kind of getting to that part in our life where we're old school. So all this technology stuff, luckily, Chris is here. So for those that don't know, that's younger.
Based on affirmative action, I needed 2 white people on the show with me. So
representation.
I'm just trying to follow. I'm trying to follow the guidelines.
I don't know.
No, straight into it today because we waited almost a week and we really haven't. We should have came on with the emergency podcast. First of all, after the Denver Broncos had to play a professional football game with no quarterback, after they had, I won't say he's the equivalent of me playing quarterback, but that was some bull that they did that guy like that, that they did that team like that. And the worst part was the anticipation and the excitement I felt every time he was going to throw because I thought he might complete one. And I mean, I don't even know the correct term for how wrong that was. I don't know the term for how wrong that was.
You know I'm mad? Because the Ravens got pushed back to Wednesday. It kept getting pushed back. They said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Broncos, nah. Find someone.
They said, Ravens, man, y'all got that COVID, man. We gonna give y'all a chance. Broncos, y'all ain't had a mask on? Y'all ain't had a mask on?
They said, what I didn't understand with the whole thing either was I almost felt like, and I'm not even a Broncos fan, but I almost felt like, you know what, John Elway did something to this owner, to this league, to the league, something for them to go, nah. Because you know what they try to do? They even try to get like one of the coaches on the team to actually play quarterback.
Now they got a rule in place. They already had a rule existing, like to prevent that, to keep organizations from like having a coach sitting on the staff just in case, or having players sitting on the staff. They had a rule in place to prevent that. But look, what they did is they made an example out of them. It was obvious. I just wish the Broncos would have had more time because I think we would have saw some crazier stuff. Like
if he'd
had only had 3 days.
If he'd have had some practice reps, he would have.
Yeah, but I'm saying they could have put in all kind of crazy offense if they'd have had like a week.
Yeah.
But they only had 3 days and no real practice days. Like I wanted to see, like I hope it happened to somebody else because I want to see what they're gonna come with. Is that wrong?
Has anybody asked the commissioner? Like, has anybody come on and gone, "Hey, what was your thinking with that?"
Man, the commissioner chilling, bro. That boy hiding out. You ain't seen him all season.
He got a backdrop that's been in the Bahamas.
The NBA was playing in the bubble. Everything the NBA got going on, man. The NBA commissioner Silver out there every day. Every other week they interviewing him. You ain't seen Godell this season.
Do you think the NFL should and other sports are going to end up going like the NBA did? I feel like the NBA did it right, but with this whole like Ravens Broncos thing, and maybe the cases are different, but at some point I hope people. Well, I don't know if they have to go in a bubble, but like the NCAA, they're going in a bubble, right? For like the tournament time. My thing is like, why hasn't the NFL done something like that? What was the thought process behind that?
You mean like a bubble?
But yeah, it was wrong. The Broncos got done wrong in this whole thing, in my opinion.
Blame them dumbass quarterbacks. Followed the protocol.
What they exactly do? Like, what was
Look, so they didn't have masks on. So the other 2 non-positive quarterbacks didn't have masks on. And they were meeting with the positive quarterback who didn't have his mask on. So they got exposure. So that's why. And then the crazy thing is the Broncos are the one that turned in the tape that showed that. The Broncos discovered it on tape, and they hurried up and submitted it. See, look, if that had been the Patriots, we'd have never knew. If that had been Belichick,
why did they talking?
We'd have found out 2 years later. We'd have found out The mysterious Patriots COVID tapes.
Why are you talking, people? Hey, if you learn anything about football or any of it, Bill Belichick has the greatest system of just answers. And just don't talk. Don't ask. Don't tell. Don't say anything. And if you do, you're off his team.
Wait, hold on, B. I'm the reporter. You Belichick. So Coach Belichick, there's rumors that you had quarterbacks get exposed to COVID with each other. Would you please explain? So based on evidence provided by one of your former players, Coach Belichick, there were quarterbacks who were exposed to a non-positive or a possible positive athlete. Could you explain?
So the next game that we play is Thursday. I'm focused on Thursday.
Hey, do you think that type of response like working like regular life stuff? Like so, look, you'll be Mr. Jackson. So, Mr. Jackson, it's been brought to our attention that you were caught with two thoughts coming out of a hotel on Tuesday evening. Could you explain?
I'm looking forward to my family vacation on next Thursday. It's as easy as that. Like, people don't understand the value of silence. Like, if I could tell anybody anything, one law you should know is, you can speak to my lawyer.
see what you think you can say that. See, no, white people can say that. Black people can't say that. Imagine somebody being like, Mr. Cooks, we heard you done it. And I just respond like this. Well, you can take that up with my lawyer. I will not be. Man, come on.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the problem that I hope one day.
We can't use that, man. They wouldn't even let Obama use that. They still ask about that boy birth certificate.
Dang.
All right. Look, all right. Broncos is off the hook. Now,
that's messed up.
Nate Robinson.
Oof.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh, well.
What do you call him? Crypto Nate is Crypto Night. Crypto Night.
Hey, the Michael Jordan cry face is gone. Like, nobody even remembers it anymore because the new meme is going to be just that laying on the canvas. Anytime you call a friend, they ain't answering, it's going to be Nate Robinson type of status, man. It is going to be, he laid out. Like, he is. Here's I guess my initial thoughts was this. I think the basketball community and maybe some other communities, athletic communities, really, really, really had these high hopes of him going in there and showing, yeah, you're athletic. Yeah, man, don't let that white boy talk to you like that. Nah. And then all of a sudden, they forgot that dude probably practiced. Who said it right? Somebody said this was, you don't play box. Like, you don't go in there and, like, that's serious stuff.
Well, like Snoop said, you don't play with this boxing and you don't play with this pimping.
Look at this.
Hey, look, man, what made it worse? What made it worse was, first of all, Snoop's commentary made the knockout worse because he started singing hymns. He started singing, and then secondly, I knew something was bad because Nate came in there fighting like it was Tekken. He ran in with a jump uppercut. When I seen that jump uppercut, I said, "Oh, Nate's out of here, bro. Nate's going to the sleeping realm. He's going to the dream realm."
My other thing about this was, I mean,
they said Nate Robinson kids is looking for the Dragon Ball so they could wish him back.
Oh my God.
Yo. Hey man, I'm telling you right now though. Look,
they said Nate Robinson kids was calling around asking people, do they got an extra man?
You know what? I lost it though when Snoop said Nate was on the canvas out cold, and Snoop says, "No, he from the hood. He'll bounce back from that." I lost it.
Yeah,
man.
without hesitation. Without hesitation, Snoop was just on it like, he's good. No. He was answering a question. They mentioned that. He goes, no, he's from the hood. He's good. He'll get back up. And then he went right back into his dialogue or whatever he was thinking.
Snoop could be the greatest announcer ever.
A lot of people were trying to take up for Nate. Like, oh,
wait
man,
a minute. Wait. Chris, put that picture back up. Put that picture back up.
All right.
This is bad.
Yeah, because I got to ask. I want to know, Brendan, what was Nate thinking at this moment?
He wasn't thinking
What was he
anything.
thinking at this
He
moment?
wasn't thinking anything.
I'll tell you this. And Jeff, I don't know exactly. I'm trying to look at his facial recognition of like, have I seen somebody like that before? But I would almost suggest that he's probably thinking, what the hell I get myself into? That dude, like, you know what I mean? Like, what did I just do? I just embarrassed. Like, how do I explain this to my family?
I think at this moment, he started thinking about the Dragon Balls. He started thinking about, I'm about to have to get Wish back. He started. What about when he was coming up under the ropes? When he was getting up and he hit his head on the ropes when he was coming up. Like, what was he thinking then?
I don't know, but all I know is he looks fit, he looks tough, but this confirms once and for all, Jeff. Not many basketball players can fight.
Oh, that's wrong. I ain't gonna say that. Because
I'm gonna say it. You know,
a lot of basketball players are some of the biggest people on earth. So I'm not gonna assume a lot of them can't fight. I think a lot of them haven't had to.
I'll say this. Ron Artest, I give it to him. He can fight, and he'll fight anybody. It's crazy. He'll go into hands,
bro.
whatever. But I want to go back to it.
I've never seen Bron fight. I'm pretty sure it's a large collection of society Bron could whoop.
Yeah, he's 6'. He's a massive man.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna put.
I agree he's massive, but I'm saying, not that I'm saying I'd fight any of them. Let me make this clear, okay? Not saying that I'm this world's greatest fighter in the world. Not saying that. But what I'm saying is, what makes you think that you were okay with going in that ring and say, you know what? I'm going to fight. I do give it to Nate that he did it because a lot of people talk about it. A lot of people say I'm going to go in the ring and I'd take some heat from Mike Tyson for this $1 million. After seeing Nate get whooped by a YouTuber that probably practiced boxing, and after seeing Tyson hit old boy in his stomach, I don't know. I think I retract all my statements of getting in a ring with a professional fighter.
Hey, I got respect for Nate for what he did. I'm still not going to say he can't fight. I just think he was in over his head in that situation. That was a bad fight for him.
Let me ask you this. Would Nate have done better if it was like a UFC fight?
I think
if
Nate
it wasn't
would have done.
Boxing's different.
I think Nate would have done better if it was somebody at his level of amateurism and his size. I think that's how he would have done. See, because I think if he would have fought somebody who was a real MMA competitor and he just tried to train real quick to do it, I think he would have went to sleep. It just would have been a different way. It would have been by the choke. It would have been.
What I mean though is, if you took that YouTuber and he fought that dude, and they were like, because the way Nate was fighting is how you see a lot of street fights.
Mm-hmm. Bro, Nate threw a jump uppercut. And I don't know. I don't know who does that to start off a fight. Who ran in with a jump uppercut like that?
Yeah, you come in with a leading kick.
I only seen Hihachi on Tekken do that.
Yeah, bro. No, that was a Ryu. That was a Ryu.
That was Street Fighter. Street Fighter.
But think about this. You do see it in UFC. I've seen people do jump kicks and jump. I think that if he would have fought like a street fight, it might have been a little different. That dude was trying to square up in boxing with a guy, and he's lying. The YouTuber I found, I know this. He's trained. That dude's been training. And the reason I say that, if you look back, that dude was trying to fight. Who was he trying to fight? That rapper. He was trying to fight a rapper before this that he tried to call out.
Jake Paul is calling out a lot of people, so his night is coming. He calling out a whole lot of people, so his night is coming.
He called out Conor McGregor. He called out Conor McGregor.
Nate Robinson was in there fighting like he was a dunk contest. Based off of like the dunk contest, Nate won because he got the crowd into it. When he got knocked out, the crowd went off.
Chris, find out who that dude was trying to fight.
I'm giving Nate a 50. Nate, you got a 50 for that knockout, Nate. 10s. I'm giving him 10 for how you went to sleep. For how you went to sleep, that was a 10. Because I wouldn't have went to sleep like that. If they would have, if I went in there, I'd have got uppercut and fell over the top rope. I'd have fell out the ring. Like if I'd have lost dramatically like that, it would have just been completely embarrassing.
He called out.
I'd have had a boxing shoe come off.
Soldier Boy, right?
Yeah.
He tried to fight Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy tried to talk some mess to this dude, and now I'm kind of curious: is Soldier Boy still wanting that smoke from this YouTuber?
I don't think
My
so.
thoughts are,
I don't think
he don't want smoke from him.
I don't think Soldier Boy ever wanted that smoke, or else it would have happened. Soldier Boy, you can't Yule in no boxing
Chris,
match.
YouTube it, Jeff. I'm telling you, Jeff. Soldier Boy and him were talking trash, like, "Hey, you want to fight?"
I'm saying Soldier was talking. He ain't signed no papers. He ain't signed that paperwork. Because nowadays you can make it happen.
So Blockboy JB now wants to fight YouTube star Jake Paul.
Oh, I saw Blockboy. Blockboy said he gotta avenge Nate Robb.
He said this is coming from XXL Magazine, their website. Yeah, Blockboy JB. He's a Memphis rapper.
Hey, can I ask a question? Where have we gone in athletics, in boxing world, to where now we are getting 54-year-old Mike Tyson, YouTuber? Man, boxing is dead, bro.
Oh no, it's not, bro. We got Earl Spence Jr. fighting on Saturday.
Who's he fighting?
Ain't nobody know that though, except you, Jeff.
Garcia. He fighting Garcia. The boxing fans know.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not like how the public used to know, like 15, 20 years ago. I think MMA is really taking a lot of that crowd.
I think the corruption in boxing is what's taking the crowd.
That's fair.
That is true.
It's the corruption, man.
I just don't know where we've gone to sit here and we have to have these publicity stunts, which once were just a movie, like in Rocky when he had to fight Hulk Hogan. Like, where have we gone?
Hey,
but
man.
Let's talk about Mike Tyson real quick. Real talk. Remember how we used to have those conversations? Would you step in the ring? I don't know if I would after seeing, because Mike was being nice. And he was being nice because I noticed he only was really going for that boy's body.
Well, partly because he was high. He admitted after the fight he was smoked before and after. So,
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Tyson was being nice. Yo, that's a scary man, dude. You could tell Roy was scared after the fight, man. Roy was like, they was like, hey, let's do this again. They was like, hey, let's do this. Tyson was like, yes, absolutely, we'll do it again. And then Roy was like, man, I got to talk to my family. I got to see and make sure. But Tyson wouldn't even let him. He said, I got to talk to my family. And Tyson said, no, man, we doing this again. We got it, man. Get over here. I said, and Roy was scared to say something. Roy was like, well, we'll see. I said, did he just punk him into a rematch?
Hey,
he just punked him.
Hey, why did Mike? He was right too. The dude was like, so Roy, are you okay? Like, you took something. He's like, what about my ass, huh? What about me? Nobody gives a damn about my ass. If I'm okay, like nobody worry about my life. You know what I mean?
Look,
and I was
man.
like, you see what we saw, Mike?
Look, the commentator was scared to even joke with him. No, so now Holyfield want him back in that ring.
I saw that.
Now Holyfield want him back.
Holyfield want him back here.
Look, I'll watch the Legends Boxing League. If Tyson can get in a real fight, he about to knock some of these old men out. I'm trying to see an old man go night.
I think Tyson can knock some of these young men out.
Bro, how he was walking through Roy. I mean, Roy jabbed him up a couple times, but Roy was in there like, after Roy kept saying, man, this dude's so strong. I said, yeah, that's the stuff you say when somebody hit you hard. Man, that boy's strong, though. Somebody truck you in football.
Hey,
somebody truck you.
Mike gave him a little smack to the face like one time, and I was like, oh, you lucky, Roy. He going for the body right now, and he's high. But he was polite. He said, I'll take that. I'll take a draw. And I was like,
I'll take a draw because we're doing stuff for humanity. We're doing stuff. We're doing things for the world. What we do matters right now. And I said, all right, Tyson.
He's right.
Hey, Mike, if you saw this, I'm just joking. I don't want to smoke.
Mike, if you saw this, he's not joking.
That's okay.
Jeff would get in the ring.
Also, now. Mike, if you saw this, share. We made it.
And
hit me. Hit a like.
by the way,
Mike.
I heard earlier that Brendan said he'd fight anybody in the NBA. That's what I heard.
But you don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. It's some real ones. It's some real ones lurking in there. Now do I believe I believe there's plenty of dudes in the NBA that have never thrown a punch. So yes, I believe that.
Look,
But I'm just saying they're just enormous people.
And I would not. Here's the thing: you don't want to somebody like me is not going to go up to LeBron and go, "Yeah, I'd fight LeBron," right? Because LeBron is this big dude. He could pick you up. He can slam you. He can do whatever you wanted. I think he's being nice. But what I'm suggesting is, can we not have NBA players going, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to go box today. Like,
why not? But why not? Why can't you?
Why not, Jeff? Nate,
I was entertained. I was entertained. I hope another one sign up to fight next week. If they going to sleep like that.
Pay-per-view.
Matter of fact, I'm about to start.
Stick to your lane. If you're a basketball player, be a basketball player.
I'm starting a boxing promotion company that I'm only going to take basketball players. We're going to call Sweet Dreams Promotions. We going in. We giving y'all the best knockout videos you ever seen.
No,
my dudes is going to be the best.
It's Shinron Productions. Shinron.
What they call it when you knock people out, they call you a knockout artist. We're gonna be called knockout performers. We're gonna perform knockout. We're gonna get hit. Oh, you're gonna see the best one. Musical. You see Nate Robb went viral. They got the Nate Robinson challenge. People land. I seen one with a dude laying down the steps.
See, planking's not even in. It's Nate Robinson. I don't plank.
Yeah,
I do the
dude.
Nate. That's the issue.
Hey, I just want to let all y'all hoopers know. Sweet Dreams Promotions. I'm looking for fighters. You only got to train 6 weeks. 6 weeks. You only got to train. The fight ain't gonna be that long. We'll schedule. For
I'm gonna warn you. There's no referee to break you up.
Take that hook. All you gotta do is take a hook.
Don't take his advice.
Nate what I'm saying is $600,000 to go to sleep. He ain't have to fight 8 rounds. He fought 1.5 and got that money. Got up out of there. As soon as they woke him up, he got up out of there.
Nate was on the same stuff Mike was on then before the
Nate
fight.
was sleep. Nate was sleep longer than he fought. You could make $600 for that, for being sleep longer than you fight. Sweet Dreams Productions or Promotions. Be ready. Let me think. Let me think of a current. I'm trying to think of a current hooper who I need to get in there because we can't be biased. We gotta get some of these white ones in there too. Kyle Korver. Come on, Kyle Korver. I know you'll go to sleep quick.
Yeah. Okay, let's go there. What white dude in the NBA right now do you know can fight?
Oh man, Steven Adams. Adams is from New Zealand. He got like Olympic athlete siblings. Steven Adams could whoop some people's ass, bro. Steven Adams could whoop some people's ass.
That's a big.
He ain't mug grow his mustache out like that.
If they fought other athletes,
Steven Adams look like his underarms stink, bro. He like he don't be wearing deodorant, bro. Like whenever I watch him in the game, bro, he like he stinks. So I know he can fight. Dirty, you know, like real dirty dudes be able to fight. Like you just see like a dirty dude, you know how to fight.
Let me think. The last dude I saw square up and really actually land some things. That was a white basketball player. Was Steve Blake in a practice in Maryland. Now they said Steve would fight. Like they said Blake would fight. But I don't know if he actually won those fights. Like you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. And I just want to put a disclaimer in there. Not that I don't think they can fight. I just think they need to, like, if you're going to do that, how long did Nate train? And who was his trainer? Who the hell was his trainer?
Sleep therapy.
Jeff Cooks is new. I feel bad for him because a couple things. And this is being all just real. One, he has a family, right? No kid wants to see their dad get that, right?
B, you making a bigger deal out of the knockout than it is, though, man. His kid want that money he got from it.
There's so much taxes on that money, Jeff. He got like $300,000 from it.
Bruh, still $300,000 for 5 minutes of action.
Jeff, Honestly, have you been knocked out though?
No, because
That
ain't
shit
nobody
is
offered
not.
ain't nobody
Look,
offered me the money.
I got ear hole for free in football game.
Tyson, y'all paying? Tyson, y'all paying?
Hey, Jeff, I got ear hole for free in a football game, and I went out and I did not like that feeling, bro.
Yeah. Now look, I'm not making light of the fact that he got knocked out, but I'm like, it's like one fight. Now, if he kept repeatedly coming back
He
and just
deserved
kept
it,
getting
man.
knocked out, then I'm gonna be like, yo, this is a danger to this man's health. But like one fight, I'm like, all right, man, he had one fight, he tried it. He tried to train and get himself there. He could have done it in a safer way, but he wouldn't have made that bread. So
I get it. I'll say this. He did have the cojones because a lot of people like Soldier Boy was talking trash to this dude. And I don't even think Nate was talking trash. I just think he said, hey, I'll fight him, right? I do say this. There is some type of like, hey, big up to somebody that stepped in the ring. Like to get into that thing, that's a whole nother thing too. So I give him big ups on that. Because there are people that just talk trash to get the views and likes. Nate was like, I'm actually about to do this. Oh God.
look, that boy's still asleep.
Look, he hurt.
Tyson,
They had to give Mike.
somebody wake Nate up. He been sleeping long enough.
You
He
think
been
Roy,
sleeping long enough.
Hey,
I'm gonna get angry. I'm gonna get angry if you don't wake him up. He's been sleeping long enough.
Do you
They paid him.
you think in the contract for Mike and and Roy that Roy's like, hey man, you got to get high before our fight, man. You have to because you got to tranquilize that dude.
Oh,
Mike needs tranquilizer, bro. Like, go ahead and fight testosterone filled, sexually deprived Mike.
now you know what was dope about the whole event though? It was like real hood. It was like performances in between, and the performances didn't really go all the way right. It's like the timing was messed up. It was like real hood,
Yeah,
but like good. It was hood but good. I
like you
enjoyed it.
talking about the atmosphere, or are you talking about like the fights?
Like the atmosphere, like everything that went into it, like the fact that they had artists perform in between fights, like that was cool to me. Now the performances was kind of weird, but like I enjoyed that setup. I enjoyed not having a bunch of dead time. I enjoyed Snoop on commentary. It was fun. It was a fun event. It was really entertaining. I was entertained by that event.
Yeah, I thought Snoop did a really good job. I thought the atmosphere was cool. In all honesty, like we were talking, I still think Nate would have done a lot better if it wasn't boxing. I think Nate probably can fight. Like when I saw him like move around and throwing punches, because at the end of the day, when you fight, it's different than boxing. You don't you don't play boxing. Boxing's an art. But I do think that he got bamboozled because I think that guy has been training for a long time. You know what I mean? And he even had a previous fight. And so
Ain't no bamboozle. Nate knew what he was going into, man. That dude got paid. I don't feel bad for him. You signed your ass up. You take the nap.
Yeah.
That's on him. That's on him.
But I commend him for saying, I signed up and I'm going to do it. Nobody has done that yet.
Did you watch it? No, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Then it was that's the problem, is that you watched it. It's not that he did it, it's that all these eyes were on him.
Yeah.
That's the issue with it, because if nobody paid attention to it, that kind of stuff wouldn't happen. But all these people watched, so you're gonna see more. Yeah. Just like you see people on YouTube watching street fights. Like, it's because people pay attention to it. If there's no interest,
I might be in the ring next with Nate Robinson for $600,000. I'll do a UFC ring. I probably wouldn't box Nate. I'd probably actually try to fight Nate. He's a big dude.
Jump, uppercut. Yeah, that dude is 180. He's like 186 in that fight.
Cut.
He's cut.
I think if Nate could grab somebody, real shit, like if he could grab you and slam you, because that's part of fighting. I don't care what people say. Real fight. I think he would have had a way better chance. That's because to your point of LeBron James. Like, LeBron's a big boy. If he grabs somebody like my size, it's probably not going to end well for me.
That's why you don't be seeing nobody.
I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But at the end of the day, like, if you fight somebody that's smaller than you, Chris, and they don't know Taekwondo or boxing, and you just lay on their butt.
Well, think about like when Shane used to wrestle me when I was little than him. Like when I was smaller than him, and he would just
That's why there's weight classes.
Yeah, he would just lay his chest on my back, and I would not be able to get up. And he pulled out the wrestling.
Weight classes.
Yeah, I was done. That's all she wrote.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Nate. Nate did it. Obviously, I like that he's a man of his word, because there's, like I said, Soldier Boy won't get in there with any of them. You know what I mean? Like, stop that. You know. But the YouTuber calling out.
I would not expect. I don't expect nothing from nobody. So I don't know nothing about what Soldier Boy or any of them do. All I know is I saw Nate go in there and fight. I wish he wouldn't have been knocked out, but he was. I was entertained. That's all I'm saying. So I think mission was accomplished on the event. Yeah. Now I wasn't glad Nate got knocked out, but I was entertained by the event. And his knockout, we're still talking about it. Like, people still buzzing about it. Like, he's gonna make more money with getting knocked out. Like, if he would have just lost a decision, he probably wouldn't make much money moving forward as he is for the knockout, because people want to interview him, want to talk to him. He might be able to go and start selling stuff and himself get knocked out if he's smart.
Trademarking things. I mean, it's huge.
Crypto night.
Yeah, like
crypto night. I
don't know. Anyways, what else? What else is on the agenda for today? I mean, we talked about the Broncos. That's just sad. I think they did wrong to them. Nate Robinson. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder who else who's up next. Like, who do we want to see get in that damn ring? Who do we want to see knock the hell out? There's a few people, I'm sure.
Who you want to see get knocked out?
Man, I think one person that like just pops up all the time is Alonzo Ball's dad. Man, I think he need to get in there with somebody.
You want to see LeVar? Look, man, I love LeVar, man.
I think he need to get in there with somebody.
His method, I wasn't always about, but the results and what he does for his kids and all the stuff he does behind the scenes when he's not talking, like, man, I love LeVar for that, man. Like the way he pushes kids and like promote him and stuff. I love it. Now, how he be running his mouth all the time, I won't even say I don't like it. I'll just say I'm not a fan, but I get it. Like, I get why he does it. Like, I don't dislike him at all because I see the results.
Speaking of that, though, I think some of these promoters, some of these mouthy ass promoters need to get in there before they start. You know how they be robbing. You know, when we talk about boxing, you know, you had Don King back in the '80s robbing people. I think some of these promoters can get their ass up in there.
Well, but that's why boxing is so corrupted. You don't have the pureness of it. It's because the business of boxing is what ruined the sport.
Yeah,
that's all that it is. The business is what ruined the sport. And then like the mindset you have to be in to like be a boxer and be successful. How many successful boxers you've seen that come from like the suburbs or like are affluent? Bro, they come from nothing, man, because that's where that fighter spirit get to come out. And so it creates that imbalance. Like, where you get the fighters from is not necessarily going to be people who are enterprising, who understand how to take the business in their own hands, or maybe have people in their corners to take care of it for them. And so there's not enough Floyd Mayweathers. So then these promoters and everybody else can take advantage because you get these people coming from nothing.
I got a question. Is Canelo from nothing?
I don't know. I don't know Canelo.
I don't know where that guy's from. I know he's a hell of a fighter, though.
Yeah. Well, I know he's from Mexico.
Yeah. I just always, in Mexico, they bring out some great boxers, man. They breed a lot of great boxers. Puerto Rico, oh my gosh, you know. But to your point, a lot of those places and those, that's what they have. That's their way out, you know, and literally fighting your way out. You know, you're gonna find the cream of the crop then because they got an extra, you know, motivation behind it, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the boxing. No, you said who would we want to see? Who I would want to see is Biden versus Trump, but Biden too old. So who I really would want to see is Obama versus Trump, so Obama could get this boy back for all that trash he was talking. Because Obama a lefty too. Obama a southpaw.
Obama, I seen his Now back to the basketball thing. Now that would be a time that I knew a basketball player would win that fight for sure.
Yeah.
And all silliness aside, basketball players can fight. I'm just saying, I think that Obama going in there with that left hand, he would hit him with too much good footwork. And Trump, he would promote it like Don King.
Oh, Trump will make all the money. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to hit him with a right hook. It's going to be huge. He's going to hit the ground. 10 seconds. Obama's out of here.
Yeah.
And then Obama will come back.
I'm going to cough this COVID on him.
I'm going to tell you right now. Stick and move. I'm a lefty, so you know I'm shifty. Michelle's in the corner. I got the Colt 45 waiting. As soon as the match is over.
Hey, he going to tax his ass. Yeah, he's going to tax his ass.
He going to be like this. Boop, bop, bitty, bop. Hit him with the Chicago two-step. Obama winning that, man. Trump can't move. Then when he starts sweating, his hair going to come over his eyes. It'll be over for Trump. It'll be over for Trump.
The comb over, we're going to find out for sure it's a wig. It's a comb over wig.
Trump,
it's going to come off, bro.
Trump probably got to fight with a diaper on. You hit him right in that. You hit him right in that. You hit him right in that sweet spot one time. It's going to be orange noodle everywhere. It's going to be Cheeto dust. When Trump farts, it's Cheeto dust.
Cheeto stock is
right hook, going to be huge. Right hook, going to be huge.
Huge.
Going to win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Obama's out of here. I finished him off. I'm the greatest president and the world champ boxer.
Tell me what he's going to say, Jeff, when he wakes up from night. When he gets up like Nate, he's going to have him in the Nate position. Trump gets up. First things he's gonna claim.
Man, I couldn't even tell you that.
I won. The bell was rung. I won.
He did not hit me. I tripped and fell. There's no way you can count that. I want you to throw out these results.
I'm suing everybody.
I'm the winner.
Yeah. Viewers are getting sued.
I did not go night-night no matter what you say. Where's my daughter? She's freaking hot. Have you ever seen a man compliment his daughter? She's gonna be holding. Have you ever seen a man say his daughter is fine?
No.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
And we hired him.
No, not we. That's your president. I didn't vote for him.
I did not vote for him, but I have enjoyed his presidency.
Hey, wait. You enjoyed Trump's presidency?
Yeah, man. I like seeing the hate in the wide open. I like seeing the hate in the wide open.
Chris, where are we at with time? I don't even know where we're at, but you're gonna have to
about 45 minutes.
Hey, explain this to me on what you just. Matter of fact, say what you just said.
So
explain to me.
It was a couple things. Like one, I enjoyed like seeing all the racist people just out in the open with their racism. It like they didn't have to hide it. They didn't have to like sneak it in the paperwork. They just could be openly racist. They could just call you N-word. They could just drive with their flag up. They can cuss you out and flip you off, and they just felt confident with it. And so I appreciate Trump for that because I know where they're at. I know where more people stand who I didn't always know where they stand. And then the other part was he just hit us with so many dope punchlines when he just would always say all this crazy stuff. Like, I'll never forget in my whole lifetime when he made fun of the dude that has special needs. When he did that, because no, it's not that the dude was like that. It's that he did that because Trump was hitting people with them kind of insults that you hit people with like in a roast session, but he was doing it like in the live wide open.
Yeah,
like in that debate when he was like, "Yeah, you graduated at the bottom of your class," and then he was like, "What school did you graduate from? You don't even know." Like that's the stuff. That's the stuff you hit somebody with in the middle school roast session at lunch, bro.
No.
He was hitting people with that middle school roast session all the time, and so even when it was like people who I support, I couldn't help but laugh because the punchlines were too cold, man. They was too cold.
Hey. No, the one that got me, and I'm with you on this. If he's a comedian, or he should have been on like Saturday Night Live as the president, right? Not the president in my mind of the country. But what he said was, he goes, that somebody asked him like, "Why do you keep calling it the China virus?" And he goes, because it came from China. And I was like,
China.
no, China with a J.
China. Yeah, he said China.
And I was like, he's not wrong. Like, it was the one time I was like, that's messed up. You can't be saying. And I was like, damn, is he wrong?
No,
and then
he said Kung Flu.
The Kung Flu.
That one.
That was bad. Now look.
Legend.
Let me tell you what happened with that, Jeff.
On a scale of 1 to 10 on how dope an insult is, that is an 11. Now, is it okay? It's not okay. It's not okay. But I'm saying on his ability to insult, if there was a roast going on, a roast session, and he said Kung Flu, that's one of those ones. Chris, pull up a video of somebody get hit with a joke and everybody go crazy and run all around. That's what would happen. He would be like this, Kung Flu.
And then you put the glasses on his face, like, with the cigarette and all that. You put it on their face.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, when he said even that, like, it goes back to like, okay, yeah, Saturday Night Live, you could do that, but your presentation is horrible. And the reason for me is like, I can't even get to your policies even if they're good, because of who you are as a person. You know what I mean? Like that just matters. And so I just, yeah.
How terrible he was as a person is why he lost, because really the success he had with the economy and some of the other policies that he put in place, he should have been reelected. But because he was like a horrible example of a person, that's why he lost. That's why he lost.
I'll say this: I wouldn't have voted for him in some categories, though. When I'm thinking about how you're supposed to vote in the sense of traditional, like what's best for me and my family, right? Because of just like Betsy DeVoe, I can't, like, as an educator, why'd you put that person in place there, right? So, I see what you're saying, Jeff. I just give me some more though. Like what else? Like, besides
Sleepy Joe. He hit him with Sleepy Joe, and still
is he our funniest president?
I don't know. I ain't seen no other ones. I mean, Obama had hit me with a few that made me laugh, but like I don't know. If I was from another country, I would have been laughing at America every day, watching everything that guy did. And here I would laugh sometimes, but sometimes I would laugh just to keep from crying. So I don't know if I'm not saying I like him. I'm just saying I found some value in his time as president, is what I'll say.
So you saw like some, like, at least some, like, you took a silver lining to some things.
Yeah.
If you're going to get anything out of it, it's his comebacks as a middle school minded guy.
Yes, very much so. I'm very childish. I'm very childish. I'm a teacher, and I teach in a youth correctional facility. So my youth are often roasting each other, or even trying to roast me. I had to call a truce the other day with one of my students because he was roasting me. He was roasting me, right? And I was getting him to do his work, and I'm like, dude, do your work. So he did it. He did his work, but then he hit me with like one last roast, right? It was like number 7 of the day, and so it just triggered me. So I hit him with like 20 straight. I just lit him up, roasting him in class, right? To where he was like, come on, man, you got to let up on me. So then we had to call a truce. So we got a truce going till Tuesday. We said we're going to come back out of the weekend Monday. We don't want to start back.
You guys are on a plan. You guys are on you got like a short-term like goals and stuff. That's good. That's good.
It's like one of the fun things about working there is you can be a little bit more of yourself than you could in a regular school.
I think about that too, because I think going on to what we're talking about, presidencies and stuff, and how you present yourself and how you carry yourself, it all matters. Same within our work, right? You got to present yourself in a mature way. But I think there are some times though when you get close to your kids, and you guys can have that kind of like cool bond because you treat them like they're your kids. You know, what I mean, that's how you see it. Which kind of gets me to my next kind of thing is we did have a question, and how we run this show a little bit is we'll have like some different things like, and I don't know if I have it still, pull it up, but we'll have topics like in the beginning where we say like, what's got Jeff and B cooking. And those are just things that we'll find throughout the week that really get on our nerves, or we're like, what's going on here? Like with the Broncos Ravens thing. We got, I got the scoop. That might be something that we hear like some rumors about that we want some clarity from the community on, or get your input on. And then we also got like you got mail, which is if we get a Facebook message from you all or an email or you shoot a text because you know us and you want us to talk about something or answer some questions for you all about any subject, we'll do that. And then lastly, we got for right now, got him coach. And that might be like the Nick Robinson thing where, if Chris pulls up a video of somebody getting knocked out or somebody getting shook or somebody, something happening in our world, we just got to tell him, got him coach. That's going to be like an award thing we give for the week. But right now, I think we had some type of mail thing from a Miss Konopke and that we want to answer. He wants to talk about fatherhood in this day and age. And then what are we doing to be role models, for our community? And so I don't know if you need time to think about that, Jeff, but that's kind of the mail that we got and some of the questions we got just about fatherhood. And I don't know if you want to start, Chris. Well, you're not a dad yet.
I don't know. I struggle with that because, I'm not. This isn't really my realm. As far as fatherhood goes, I don't have any experience. So, I mean, as far as role models go, I mean, the best I can do is show how to be a good husband. That's where I can try to strive and be better at every day. But as far as fatherhood, that's all you two.
Well, you know what that means.
Well, B, what's your perspective that you're coming from in addressing this? Like, what are you? How do you look at answering that question? Because I mean, you could come from all over the place. Like, what is your perspective when that question is asked to you?
That it's so funny you say that, Jeff, because the first thing that always pops in my head, and I don't know why, and it shouldn't, and I got to work on this, is the lack of, right? Not having a dad growing up. Because I think, and maybe you can help me here, because maybe the first things you think about when you hear that is you do think about your dad. Like, man, this is how I was raised, or, some of the things I take from him. And so that kind of comes up first, unfortunately, because I don't know if I need to give that person that credit even, or energy. And so what I need to kind of, shift my lens to is, who put that time into me as a young man growing up, and then also what am I doing for my kids and my community? So that's kind of like first. So my perspective is kind of, it's like bittersweet sometimes when I think about fatherhood. But what I will say is I did have some great adults and coaches in my life, and even Tom Thorson in my life later on that really without even question just helped me see what men are supposed to do, right? First and foremost. So you have a foundation, and my foundation was like mimicking some of the great leaders around us. Coach Stevens, Coach Sandoval, all the coaches that we had, Coach Hansen, those guys really were my kind of like foundational, and they may not know the impact. Coaches got to realize they have greater impact than they think, because kids are around them all the time. You're around kids more at that age than the parents are as a coach. And so they had just big foundational things for me. So a lot of times, like with Coach Stevens, is I saw that he was very well-rounded. He was artsy. He could draw. He could do pottery. He could do all this things. But he also was this big man that lifted weights and was strong and articulate and very intellectual and could have a conversation at a higher level with people, and knew his stuff. And I just looked at him and I saw Coach Sandoval as more of that, leader of men in that role of being a head coach, and how the people around him and how he could get them to follow and create a team of their own. But so, yeah, my foundation is a little different, I think, maybe than yours. But I would kind of copycat and go, oh, I like this person. What does he do well? Let me steal that. Tom Thorson really with work ethic and doing a job that in landscaping or contracting, that when you start doing those things, you learn a little bit. You start learning a little bit about grit and stuff. And then, of course, a lot attributes to my brother, and Shane, because he was in the same boat as I was, and in the sense of like kind of closer to age. And I look to him a lot because he's in my household. And he was more the accountability guy. Like, he's not one to tell you, oh, it's rosy and it's going okay. It's, oh, that was stupid, don't do that again kind of guy. And I needed that. I needed that seriousness because not everything was a game, And so I go there. I go, well, what's my foundation and where does that come from? And I'll be honest with you, even like my friends' dads, your dad, Jeff, and being around him, and getting to like know him and see him with you, and Dwight's dad, I got to see that relationship too, which in turn kind of helped me be a dad because I had to like get it from somewhere because I didn't know what a dad does for a kid. So yeah, that's where my foundation comes from. But I'll let you go, Jeff, and then I'll kind of go on like fatherhood when I became a father.
Well, when I think about like fatherhood and the place of men in society, I think about the ills of society first. I always think about the majority of the ills that we see in our society are from men not performing appropriately in their role. So like men abuse their position in like the structure of our society. So a lot of the ills that exist in society are because of men, meaning a lot of those ills are to be corrected by men assuming their role appropriately. And so, I believe men have an obligation because of their strength, because of the way men are created. We're stronger, we're bigger, kind of more aggressive. We got all the testosterone pumping. It's to serve and it's for other people's benefit. But over time, it's become kind of to where men use those strengths for themselves rather than to like for the benefit of other people. So as a father, like I think about like putting myself out there in a way to where it's to the benefit of other people, because in the end, pouring myself out into the world, like the world pours itself back into me. It refills me all the time. So I'm never without what I need if I'm doing for others. And like I learned from my father, like my father always says still now, you treat people the right way. At the end of the day, you're going to end up where you want to be. And so like I believe like as men and as fathers, we're responsible for, like caring for our communities and each other and doing right by each other and being consistent in that. So like to me, fatherhood is all that responsibility. It's not just to my kids. It's to any other kids I have to encounter. It's to my neighbors' kids when my neighbors aren't looking. It's just to society as a whole. Like, and so for me, it's just the idea of, I mean, I got to go out and I got to do right by people and I got to do for people. And I have to be conscious of the times where my thinking starts to become me-centric, where I start to think about me before everything. I have to be conscious of those moments and like stop myself. And it's like a process. Like I'm so much better now than I was 10 years ago. And I imagine in 10 years from now, I'll be so much better than I am right now. But it's like constantly evolving and getting better. And then just like with my own kids, man, I just do the best that I can. And I'm good with that. I know God has a part in it. So I'm good with it. I do the best that I can with my kids, man. I never lack humility with my kids. So when I do mess up, I apologize. But I never lose sight of having a purpose for everything I do with my kids. So anything I do with my kids, there's some designed outcome. Like I talked to my wife about when you make a decision with your kid in a moment, have an idea of what you want the outcome to be from you making that decision. Like I have an idea for all four of my children of the people I want them to become. So I handle certain situations with them certain ways. And it's not all the same for each one of them because I have an idea of the people I want them to become based off like what they've already shown me with their personalities. And so I'm always pushing them to this ideal version of themselves because I'm always pursuing this ideal version of myself. So like that's how I approach fatherhood. That's what I think of fatherhood.
Yeah. And then when I get into fatherhood, for me, obviously you take what you know, because a lot of people don't realize that there's no blueprint to becoming a parent. Like there's not this like, here's some directions, right? There's not that. And so it's like every day, right? Every day I'm working on me, getting me better. If it's spiritually, if it's being a better husband, so I can mirror what it's supposed to be So my daughter goes, oh, that's how a man's supposed to treat a woman. And my son goes, oh, that's how I'm supposed to treat a woman. Because I find that important. I find like relationships and value in my household that I love on their mother, and I want them to see that because they need to love on somebody else too. Because I think the first part of that feeling of feeling loved is not just what I do with them, but what I do to someone they love, right? And so I think for me, one thing that I always focus on is I ask myself, am I the leader in this home and for these kids that I'd like, I want them to reflect after, when they get out of my house, because they got to be a product of society, and that could be either good or bad. And I need to do everything I can, and like I said, I'm not this perfect dad, first and foremost. And so I try to just be that example and better myself and be a better example. So when they look at me, how I treat people or how I go to work on time or how I make structures for myself or how I push myself or how I work out, I hope they take some of that. Now, then I don't want them to be me, though. I don't want them to say, I want to be dad. I want them to be better than me. I want them to go, hey, be better than me. And that's kind of like the challenge in my home is how can I set them up with a good base and be honest with them, and for me, get them invested to know who God is and what Jesus did for us and dying for our sins. And I start there. But like you, Jeff, I mean, at the end of the day, I think we both can agree. We want them to feel happy and loved, and we want them to pass that on. We want them to do that. And I think as fatherhood in this day and age, I'll be real. Yeah, I can see what's going on in the world, but I don't lie to them or cover it up. I'm just honest with them. When they're old enough to ask me or have a question, I just let them know. So when Melody's she's 10, but she's asking me about Donald Trump. And I don't try to go into in this weird way. I just give her the facts, but I also try to let her think for herself. I know she's 10, but I like her thinking for herself. I want her to be a strong woman. And I want her to say, hey, there's kind of my opinion if she has one at 10. But and I think she does, but I don't lie to them either, and I think if you make something this big deal or it's oh God, it's taboo. I think they're more like me. I'm more curious about what it is. And so I just kind of give them the facts and, if they're comfortable enough, and I hope they're comfortable enough to come to me, and I hope I build that relationship when they need something or they're scared or they've done something that I can help them out with and not be oh God, Dad's going to be upset and I can't go to him with it. But I do want them to have some type of I don't want to say fear, maybe it's fear, but of, hey man, don't do that. That gets you this, but I still want them to have that balance of, but I can still come to my dad,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at with fatherhood. Now, role modeling, and Jeff, you're a role model for a lot of people, right? Not just peers, but older people.
Hey, but first, before you say that, I have to say, that's something I'm kind of becoming hip to lately. It's a really strange thing for me to I mean, I feel like I can handle it, but it's a really strange thing for me to realize that there's people who look at me and think of me in that kind of way. That's it's strange. It's humbling, but it's strange that to find out oh yeah, I've been watching what you do, man. I pay attention to how you do things. Cause you never know. It's just strange because you never really know who's paying attention to what you're doing and how you're doing it. So I do feel a little more obligated to make sure I'm behaving myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's crazy is the influence piece. And this is what I talked about. And I hate to get political on a lot of things because a lot of that's gray. We'll talk about that later, but that balance of it's growth, right? But if me and you continue to act like we're middle schoolers and people are watching us, but your influence on people, right, is so heavy, it matters. Same with president. When you're the president, your influence and what you're saying, that matters because guess what? You never know who's watching you or what you're doing, especially your kids. And they're going to go, oh, that's what it is. Cause that's their only educational piece to whatever the subject is or whatever you're doing. And they go, that's how you're supposed to act, or that's how you're supposed to talk, or that's how you're supposed to feel. But people are watching you, and I think the impact and the influence that natural leaders have, it does rub off on people. And it's like the old Spider-Man thing. What do they say? Like great power comes with great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the realm, that, and you can speak to this, but when you're a role model, and even in my job, which I'll explain later, that's a big responsibility because of the impact you have.
True. Well, I look at it all in like three ways. Like, man, you're going to influence people, you're going to raise people. There's like three things I kind of go by. Go in with a plan. If you are somebody who influences people or you're raising kids, have a plan of a desired outcome. 2, execute the plan. Like, there's going to be things that are going to try to get you to deviate from the plan. You're raising kids. Sometimes your kids' momentary happiness seems like it's the most important thing. Oftentimes it is not. The person you want them to become, often, not always, but often, it will require them to not be in a place of comfort, to not be in a position where they're happy. So don't be so concerned with making your kids happy. Teach your kids how to achieve happiness. Yeah. And then 3, enjoy all of the process. And whether I'm a role model, a leader, coach, whatever, any of that, a parent, a father, a husband, enjoy all the process, man. You know what? I love coming home and getting to hug my kids and us having a good time. But I also love when my kids are wrong and I have to correct them. I embrace it and I have fun with it. I do crazy stuff sometimes as part of like the correction. I've evicted my kids, but I just embraced it all. Like I'll give you one of the coolest things that I've had the opportunity to do was I did a healthy sexuality course with my oldest son. He's 12 now. He's almost 13. I think we did it when he was 11, but we covered every aspect of puberty. And we did this like with a therapist. The therapist gave the class, like every aspect. He got to ask every question, anything he wanted to ask me. He got to like view like everything that's going on in society. So all the different ideas of sexuality or any of those things, we covered it all, explained it and broke it down. So he's not going into any of this stuff without knowing. Now, everything that's getting thrown at him, he's coming from a position of understanding rather than I'm going to learn it with my friends. And so like for me, that was like a great experience. And it taught me something about being a parent. You only rob your kid if you let your discomfort become more important than the lesson that they learn. Mm. So like I would recommend to any parents, anybody that sees this, get out of your comfort zone and do what's best for your children, man. Get out of it, especially you men. Get out of your comfort zone. It is not about you. You are obligated. This society will elevate you. You as men. This society will take care of you. It's designed that way. So you are obligated to care for the society, meaning your children, the women, and anyone that's without. So like take that responsibility seriously. Get out of your comfort zone, man. Grow. Get better. Yeah. We're about to do that. We're about to do that class with my daughter. So I'm trying to wait till puberty kick in, but I think I'm gonna just do it at 10. So once she turns 10, it's on.
Yeah, me and Mel have that scheduled as well. But and I agree with you. I think that's what you said was important. Is this isn't about your comfort, right? Like I'm not my child's best friend. I bring Melody and I'm an athletic director, and so I sit up and talk to parents. And what I do purposefully pre-COVID is when I have parent meetings, I bring Melody. And the reason I bring Melody is because I let them know, because it's a shock for some of them to hear that. When you hear, hey, I'm not your kid's best friend, they take that as, oh my God, like, are you being mean? A lot of them take it that way. So when I started bringing Melody, I go, hey, Melody, am I your best friend? And she'll tell them no. I'm like, who am I to you? You're my dad. And I turn to them, I go, hey, look, I'm not your child's best friend. That's not my job. My job is to, when you drop them off, you trust that I have their best interest in mind. And sometimes the best interest in mind is not in the comfort zone, because your kid's going to battle that sometimes. And I think with fatherhood, it's important for you to not only do what Jeff was saying in the sense of, hey, this is an uncomfortable decision, but I need to make this for the betterment of you. I don't care how I feel about it, but also a lot of times we forget that we got to back our significant other up too, right? So part of fatherhood for me also is learning that I walk next to my wife in this journey of parenting and making sure that I am on board with her because it's a team thing, right? And so, yeah, Jeff, I think you said it really good there. And I think as far as role modeling, the reason I do that in front of parents and let them know that I'm not their kid's best friend is because, hey, I owe it to your kid and you all to be one more than my title. Let's throw that away. But when they come here, I'm going to treat them like they're my child, and I'm going to respect and love on them, but I'm not their best friend. I don't have anything in common with them. But I need them to grow. I need them to move. I need to move them from the immaturity state possibly, or wherever they are, meet them where they're at and move them. And so I think the role modeling piece also includes this. There are some times that when I'm giving lessons or I'm teaching or giving tough love, I let them know too that I've made a mistake in my life, almost mirroring theirs, and this is the outcome. So I bring a lot of that. You almost have that experience that comes with being a role model. Mm-hmm. And so my experience a lot of times helps me be a better role model. So I'm kind of thankful for some of the crummy things that's happened or I put myself in or I don't know of. But I'm also grateful of this as a role model. I'm not the greatest role model in the world. And a lot of times I get up and I call somebody. I'm not afraid to ask for help. And I think in parenting and in role modeling, there's nothing wrong with going, hey, I don't have all the answers. Let me call my homie and see if he's gone through this.
Well, but I think the term you look for is real model. That what they say, I'm not a role model, I'm a real model. Your model was real. You don't got to play a role.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll call friends, like I might not experience some of these things, especially in this day and age, Ms. Konopke, which, by the way, one of the greatest, most influential women and just people, but in my life as an educator, if you didn't have Ms. Konopke, you typically only know about 4 or 5 people or teachers, you remember them. She is one of those that you'll never forget. Because of these things, because of her role model and how she conducted herself and how she empowered women and how she was powerful, in her classroom was beyond her curriculum. So shout out to her in the question. But I mean, to get back on track, I call my friends all the time, especially because you know what? I'm not a black male. I'm not a Hispanic male. And there's some things I'm never going to get as a white male role model. So I might have to reach out and get a lifeline and go, hey, man, I'm having this issue. Can you help me understand? So I think also parenting and role modeling, it's okay to fail. It's okay to I didn't do that right. But you can come back from it. You know what I mean? So you're not really failing. You're just having a new starting point.
Well, I would say this to everybody watching, all our viewers, share with us. Share us through social media. You can send videos to our email, however you like. Share tactics that you use as a parent. I think it would be great for us to all collectively share this information with each other and help each other grow, because it really does take a village. And we could build us a really strong village here. So just shoot us a video on social media, shoot us a video through our email. Let us know hey, I do this when my kid does this. I do this when my kids do this. I think like this and it helps with this. Whatever it may be. Share that information, and then we'll just post it and get it all out there, and we can all just build each other up and help each other out with that because it's a constant evolution. When you're a parent, you're just constantly changing and growing, and then before you know it, you're a grandparent, and you evolve through that process. So let's just all help each other out with that.
And look, we're going to get better at this. This is new to me and Jeff. But as we get better, don't be afraid to email us, inbox us, Facebook. We have our own Facebook page, stuck in neutral. And sometimes, we're going to have topics that are gray. We're going to get serious sometimes. But I think it was good, Jeff. I think we had a good first run through and any last remarks that you have for the people, last thoughts, anything that we hit on, you were like, I got to go back to that to get my last thought. You got anything?
One last time, if y'all have any luck collecting them Dragon Balls, we want to get Nate Robb back as soon as possible. We want to get him wished back as soon as possible. So let's take care of that. I just say, man, I love you. I love I love what I do every day. I love what you do every day. You matter. You're important. Being stuck in neutral only means that we don't have a solid opinion about everything. So some things we're stuck in the middle, and that's where we want to work from. So just enjoy the ride with us and enjoy us. Thanks.
I'm your father figure. Oh, that's why I'm your father figure. Oh, no, you. I'm your father.